The Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, is an inspirational hour that'll take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. Get ready to be transformed from Dr. Jenn's live guided healing meditations and intuitive readings, and unveil the power of connecting to spirit, the angels, and your higher self. Dr. Jenn is passionate about helping you find the answers you're looking for through an inward journey that'll strengthen your connection to spirit and help you trust your intuition. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jenn Royster.
Hello everyone, welcome to the show. After the last week, this is going to be a very special show. We have a lot going on in the world, and it has been a lot for everybody to get used to this week, and especially me. So I did write a little bit about that to my newsletter subscribers, but and I won't go into that too much, but what we want to do today is we want to work with energy. We want to work with energy healing. We want to work with how it empowers, how it lifts, how it supports yourself and others. And we will take time in the show to do some meditation and some energy healing together, go over some things on how you can do this. And then what I want to do is I'm going to make it my intention is to put this toward the last half of the show, so we can break it off and make another video where it's just that meditation if you want to keep using it. That's happened with a lot of the meditations that we do spontaneously in the live show. This is an important one, and we want to send some love and support to those that are dealing with some tough challenges. And that doesn't even feel like the right word in Ukraine. So here we at the Jenn Royster Show support you, and we love you. And I know people there, but I want you to know that we understand what you're going through. And with what I do with spiritual healing is I'm working that way. I'm doing what I know I can contribute. I felt very strongly about 4 or 5 days actually before this all started last week, to the point where I just felt called, and I've been spending several hours a day all through the night, different times of day, just taking time and sending that love and support there, angels, protection, you name it, from a spiritual perspective and energy perspective. So today I want to give my audience an opportunity to join with me in that, and we do it together as a group. It always is where 2 or 3 are gathered, it's much more powerful. So I thought, why not? And we'll go over some things on how you can be a participant in sending the positive and healing energy out into the world. It's still showing in astrology that this year is a healing year. And I do want to remind everyone, sometimes when challenges pop up or really catastrophic things happen, we wonder, like, I thought this was supposed to be a healing year. What happened? It actually, there's deeper meanings into the shadow side of life. But what I am noticing is how most of the world is coming together and trying to work together in harmony. And most people want peace. Most people want the love in a different world. I saw that. I've seen that. That might not feel like it, but sometimes and we've talked about this in the past, about our own individual things. So it has been a collective energy for the last couple of years and this year too. So we're feeling things collectively, but we are also feeling things individually. And so if you were to look at something that you are dealing with individually, and the challenge comes, it's like, well, what can I learn from it? What can I do? How am I responding to it is huge. Collectively, we're in a position to do that too. So I'm not here to tell everybody what to do or think. I'm just letting you know where I am And I don't usually go into things like that, but this is too important because my focus and my goal as a metaphysician, excuse me, an energy healer and spiritual inspirational coach, whatever you want to call it, teacher, is to guide and uplift us to a higher ascension and a better world. So that is my focus. It will stay my focus. I'm keeping my energy there. But I take it very seriously. Not everybody does, but I do. I know if you're joining this show, you probably do too. So we can work together and we can support one another as light workers, as people that can send positive energy out, because love is the most powerful healing energy. I haven't doubted that for a second. I have seen it in the midst of challenge, and it's inspiring. Emotionally, I've cried tears. I did not do a show last week, and I apologize for that being unexpected, but at the same time, I can't apologize because I really felt called to action, and I had emotionally been very, very strongly taking all of the energy that I had and putting into global healing. So I am feeling a lot of that right now. And that can be exhausting. I also wanted to point out, and I wanted to be here and help everyone. Yes, I'm an empathic healer. So I'm feeling things even before they happen. And I know empaths do, and it can be very rough. So as a support, we want to do that. I'm looking to do a lot of things, maybe have a community group where it's live, where we can work together, not just at the show here. So I'm working on some ideas, but I wanted to just address that right up front. And we are going to talk about the energy of March and how we can take care of that in our own personal lives, and how we can also take care of how to use this the best way collectively, because we're in collectively whether we want to be or not. And that's pretty much what the world has done for us. So I want to welcome everyone that is joining us in the live show. We have our YouTube chat open if you want to join over there. We're not going to do individual angel readings today because I'm going to focus this on global group healing today. So just putting that out front, letting you know. So we want to contribute to healing here. That's what we want to do. We want to bring our energy together for that. But we are going to go over the March energies, because the March energies are quite significant in how this all goes, how we can work with this energy in a positive way in our own personal lives and collectively. So let me go into that. First off, this energy is about, there's no retrogrades. There's no retrogrades at all in the month of March. I'm going to go over this, and we're going to do that meditation later. This is the only month where there is no retrogrades at all. That means all the energy is moving forward in astrology. So we've been looking at that. So this means it's bold, it's fast moving, and it does feel fast moving already. It will help push us past fears of taking action, because that's usually what happens. We don't know what to do. We're afraid to take action in things we want to do. But this is going to help motivate us to take action in things we want to accomplish. This is something that you can look at in your personal life. It's worth also repeating here, 0 retrogrades is a lot. I mean, you want to use this energy to your advantage, because we've been in this holding pattern, and we've been reviewing, and we've been doing all kinds of things like that. We definitely want to move forward. We're ready. We want to move forward with those plans, those projects. This is the energy this month for that. This is the beginning of a new cycle into that energy. So if there's a leap or take action or something new you want to do, start something new, this energy is about that. So we're going to show you today how you can use that. It's kind of like no more excuses. It's time to go. You're going to take this and go with it or not. That's the kind of energy this is. Because we're in Pisces energy, but we're coming up on the Aries energy more toward the 3rd week or so of March, and that's when you'll really feel this. So the first part, The first part of this energy is the sun finishes up in the sign of Pisces, okay? So that's the last sign of the zodiac. The Pisces is a very spiritual sign. It's very much about, okay, we've looked into this, we've gone deep. The past, we need to leave it behind us. We need to come to a conclusion and a decision on which relationships are not working anymore and which ones are. It's very much about finishing up and making a decision on what needs to go and what needs to stay on those relationships. That's all kinds of relationships, not just romantic, not just personal, but anything you're doing related to business or friendships or community, anything like that. With all the energy going behind us, we're moving forward now. The Aries shifts us into taking action. Aries is a very strong, fiery leadership type energy. Personally, this is saying it's time to take leadership in your life. It's time to make those decisions and be confident and stand strong in them. Aries is a very fearless, fiery, go, take action, get it energy anyway. And it's quick, it's fast. The shadow side of an Aries energy can sometimes feel impatient and aggressive. So shadow side energy of that, you know, watch out for that. I mean, this energy is very positive for starting new projects and getting things off the to-do list that you really want to take care of and just going for it. So let's see. Let's go into some of it that's happened here. Yesterday we had a Pisces New Moon. That was a brand new beginning. And it was a Venus-Mars-Pluto alignment. Those are kind of significant. So I want to tell you about that. So that was yesterday. You're still feeling that energy right now. That is resting on new energies that are about to unfold. This is about being able to unravel or discover everything needed for your own transformation. This is energy that's amplified under this Pisces New Moon. That energy is still quite strong today. It usually is a week before and a week after, so we're right in the pocket of that. That happened yesterday. We find ourselves maybe a little more sensitive. You might be feeling the emotions a little bit more because Pisces is a very spiritual going into that side of us. We can feel that intuition stronger. It's very much about spiritual awakening and going into that deeper realm. Jupiter is also here. The planet of abundance is showing up here. It's an expansive energy type of energy. So it's very active as well under the moon. So we have Jupiter with abundance and expansion. That's good. That's good. So that might heighten the emotions though. So you have Pisces and Jupiter together and it's like, oh, let's go. And then you feel everything, you know. So if you're feeling things like that, mine has been intense dreams, premonition dreams, really strong ones. So that's sometimes that's not very comfortable. But when I've been having them now they've been getting stronger for a couple of years where I know something is off. I don't know what it is. And then when I find out I'm like, holy cow, there it is. Yeah, it completely engulfs me. And then at the same time, I know what's going on. I do, but I don't. So those are kind of strange. They can be very mysterious if you're feeling that. An empath may, okay, and that's why I bring it up. So energies that are amplified under this, you might feel the sensitivity. Jupiter with that expansion, so it might make it feel a little more hypersensitive. So the good thing about the Jupiter energy though, it allows us to see, and it's very optimistic. It allows you to see the positive side of things that are coming from these emotions. It gives you a feel-good emotion about things. In spite of what's going on, you can tap into that. I've seen that. I've seen that in the last week. It's freaking amazing. If that's not inspiring, I don't know what is. At the same time, the new moon, Venus, Mars, Pluto, they are going to align with Capricorn. That's a rare combination of planetary energy that will color the energies that you might already be feeling right now under this new moon. Okay, that kind of mixes everything all together. You might notice a focus more on relationships and power struggles that you might have in your lives. And remember, that can be collectively too, so yeah. There is a lot of energy to unpack here, so, just think about it. Now, March 3rd, that's where we are today. Today we are in March 3rd. That is the Venus conjunct with Pluto, is what it's called in astrology. Now, Venus lining up with Pluto 3 times over the last few months is significant. And we have talked about that before. The first time was December 11th in 2021. The second time was December 24th of 2021 when it was in retrograde. Now, this one is the third and the final one today. And this alignment happening 3 times in a short period of time is pretty rare. So that's why we've been having so much emphasis on our relationships and our relationship with ourselves, with finance, with others, all that. A lot of stuff like that. It indicates the universe is drawing our attention here when there's so much of that alignment all at once. So we need to pay attention to that. That's what it's been doing. We've talked about it a few times. Pluto represents power. Yeah. Venus represents the relationships, okay? The relationship health, the dynamic of the relationship. Not just with ourselves, but relationships with everything, with money too. That's coming up really strong. Under this energy, we might notice power struggles that come up when it comes to the relationships, or something that may or may not be going quite right with a relationship. We may find that we need to step back. We might need to find a way to release control or negotiate in some way. Find a way to rise up, take the power back. It's either one, you see, depending on where your situation is. You don't want to feel disempowered. You want to feel that you are empowered. You want to be the one that's in charge of your own life. At this third alignment, though, the energy focuses, because it's the third one, the final one, this one in particular is focusing on the progress. How have we progressed through this? Have we made some ground? Have we done well with this? Have we healed in some areas? Where are the themes in the ones that you're working on particularly? Have we progressed? Have we cleared it? Have we just stayed the same? You need to pay attention to that for yourself to see where you are with that. Okay, March 4. March 4 is Venus will leave her shadow period. And the shadow period, that one, we were talking about that back in December. Venus entered retrograde back at December 19th of 2021. Stationed direct again on January 29th of 22. Now we're in the period of matters of the heart that come to the surface. We will feel these energies. They will come to the surface, matters of the heart, emotions of the heart, so it can be cleared, transmuted into positive, something healing. So those are all going to come up to the surface to be dealt with. Venus retrograde also amplifies the worn out relationships that aren't working anymore. The self-limiting beliefs we may have on ourselves. What's holding us back from our full potential? Lots of stuff like that. Self-care is going to be very important right now. You want to keep that in mind. Please, please make it a priority in your life, because we can only give what we have inside of us. So we're going to go over that a little bit when we do the energy healing in a bit. Now, even though Venus has not been retrograde since the end of January, it still had been moving slowly, and that's why it's coming out of shadow, retracting back. So this is known as that shadow phase, why it's been doing that. And that happened to start and end at the retro period. So here we have this shadow phase right now coming to the end. Venus returns to its own new territory, not own territory, new, and it brings new energy. Okay, it's bringing new energy. This is to help with relationships and heart-led matters. So when Venus is leaving a shadow phase, it can bring a rejuvenation energy. So that's what I want you to hear. I'm going through a little bit just to help you understand why would we say that about Venus. So I'm giving you the backstory, but basically you're looking for that rejuvenation energy for renewal because it's coming out now. So March 4, we also have a Sun in conjunct with Jupiter is what that's called. This is an annual meeting every year with Sun and Jupiter, and it's considered one of the most beneficial and magical alignments in astrology. So keep that in mind. That is Jupiter amplifying whatever it touches. Jupiter, you want that focus to be on what you want to amplify. Think about it with law of attraction. Jupiter amplifies whatever it comes in contact with here. And it comes together with the Sun, which amplifies life-giving. You know, the sun, the rays, that gives life to the planet. So in astrology, the Sun represents the core, who we are, right? Jupiter brings a time of self-discovery. We're going to find out new things about ourselves. We're going to have healing. We're going to have optimism. Optimism is very, very powerful and can take you very, very far. Much more than a negative mindset. If you don't believe, then it won't come off. It won't even get off the ground and start anything with your projects. So one of Jupiter's gifts is giving us that bigger picture to see the bright side of life. We want to tap into that. That's important. If something's looking bleak, if something's looking, oh no, wrapped up in, you know, in your focus and it's like a downward spiral of negative thinking, then this is when you want to switch that and change it and give yourself opportunity with intention to look at things from a different perspective. Maybe I need to look at this differently. Maybe I need to focus on something more positive. Maybe you need to bring something into your life more positive. It's just going to be whatever your situation is. March 6th, Venus and Mars will enter Aquarius. This is an Aquarius time, age of Aquarius. So Venus and Mars traveling together since mid-February here. So when they move out of Capricorn and into Aquarius, they'll come together for one more time. And that's magical energy as well. Those two together is interesting. They can help us balance that masculine, feminine inside. Remember, we talked about that too. So these are things we have gone over, but this is popping up. March 12th, now we've got Neptune. That's another spiritual awakening planet, very deep. Sun conjunct Neptune. That annual meeting is considered the creativity and spiritual growth, spiritual awakening. A higher comprehension, a higher understanding and consciousness of what love really is, the energy of love. Understanding love at a higher level. That's a big one there. Neptune is considered a universal love planet. It helps us realize we're all connected. We're all in this together. We all ripple out an energy upon one another. So if we really are just one, and Neptune and the Sun are coming together, this amplifies your spiritual insights, which I have been feeling already. And this is for March 12th, so I know I'm noticing a change. It helps us connect with intuition. Intuition could get stronger if you are going that way, if you've already been that way. It could be changing. It could expand to where more things are coming in. I'm personally experiencing that in the last few months, much stronger than the gradual, you know, it just seemed like it accelerated and just went wow. And so it's been different, and you have to give yourself time to adjust to that. If you need a day off, take a day off. You have to. You have to make sure you're taking care of yourself. Self-care is important. You can't be of help to anybody without it. So you have to understand that. I'm going to reiterate that again. It's so important. Neptune also rules over fantasy, art, music. All that energy is going to be strong right now. When I say fantasy, you want to make sure you're not getting deceived by anything. Sometimes you can have deception creep in there. So use discernment. Don't be afraid. Just use discernment. Listen to your intuition. If you don't feel comfortable with something, then don't. It's that simple. March 16. This one is interesting. This is an asteroid conjunct between Pallas and Chiron, and I wanted to highlight this today because Pallas is the asteroid of strength. Pallas is the asteroid of courage, strength and courage. That's very much needed for all the things that this energy brings to us. We need to have the strength and courage to take action, make a decision, and move past a fear. It helps us to find our fearlessness. It helps us to be independent, to take a stand on what you believe in, to not be afraid to speak out on what's right for you. Chiron is the healer, the wounded healer, deeper wounds that come into life. This one is about the healing of ourselves and others. So we're going to be working with healing ourselves and letting that pass through, because if we heal ourselves a lot of times in a lineage, that heals before and after you in descendants. You know, ancestors, descendants, things like that. Asteroid energy is subtle, so when they come together, it might be easier to stand up for yourself. Might be easier to come on and just take that, you know what, it's time for me to take that healing journey. I'm ready. Let's do it. So this is actually a very interesting lineup here right now. I thought, wow, we all need a little bit of that. You might feel empowered to start a healing journey. You might feel empowered to just take that chance and just not be afraid to do what you need to do, to see the strength that you've gained through the challenges already up until now, to appreciate what you have already, to appreciate the freedoms that you do have, to appreciate what you've accomplished over your lifetime's journey. So this is a challenging time, but it's also a strength time. It's also a courage time. It's also a take action time to move past things that have really held us back. Believe it or not, it can be amazing to just feel like you finally got through that hurdle that just never went away. That's what this is about. So that's interesting. We have a Virgo full moon on March 18. This one will lead us into that equinox and start a new year. That will be, you know, getting close to spring for us. Here, full moons, you know, represent that point of release. So this is a good opportunity to purge everything you don't need and you don't want to carry into the new year. Time to put those bags down and be done. So do the homework on what all of this energy leading up to this point has brought us to pay attention to. It's really had to focus on relationships and our relationships with all those different aspects in our life. Friends, ourselves, money, finance, all of it. What's your relationship with Earth? What's your relationship to things? So we've been guided to let go of some self-critical thinking here. We don't want to be doing that. We don't want to have this difficulty in just constantly criticizing all the efforts that we make. Failure is not because you tried something and it didn't work. That is such a misconception. You tried it and you're like, oh, it failed, forget it. No, you had the courage to try something. But every time you've done that, haven't you learned something from it? That's a positive. That's gaining. That's the gain you got from it. So you just go, okay, let me go back to the drawing table and try something different. So please know, intuition will be super important to listen to on your guide with that full moon. We'll talk about that later on another show, but I did want to bring it up. There's March 20 is when Aries season begins, and we're getting into that timeline where you might feel this energy more. Now, this is one of the key events. This one right here, March 20, Aries. Key events of the month. This is when you might feel you're starting to go, you're going into the new year. You're going into a new astrological year. Not the calendar year. You're going into new intentions for what you want to wish for your life. You're going into the sign of leadership. You're going to be thinking about, where do you want to take the lead? Where do you want to lead with where your life's going? If you don't like where it's going, what are you going to do about it? Things like that. This one is high vibration day, so you want to bring balance into your life on what you want to do and take leadership in. It's a transitional time. It honors the ending of things and the beginning of something new. Because when you get to a new astrological year or a brand new beginning of something, you've had to let go, and that's what we're in the process of right now. We're just getting to that finalizing, okay, that needs to go away. I don't want to keep taking that. I mean, if you're moving to a new house, or you're moving to a new location and you're packing up the old one, you get rid of a lot of stuff, right? You start to go, I don't want to take that into where I'm going. You got to think, that's a good analogy for this. Like, what do you not want to carry forward moving into this new chapter? That's important. And then at the very end of the month, we have Aries New Moon. And then that one is going to fall right on March 31st. That's the new moon in Aries. So that one will peak, and that one will have a little bit more of that wounded healer gift, helping us to find the strength and wisdom to heal and move forward from deeper things. So that's the lineup. That's the energy we're working with. So now what I want to do is I want to say hello to everyone that is in the chat to join me here. Hopefully you can. If not, this is going to be recorded and you can do this later. But what we want to do now is we want to work with some energy healing, and we're going to go over some things to do that. I'm going to kind of guide you through it. First of all, we're going to work with getting the energy within ourselves where it needs to be. So whenever you want to send energy healing out to another, or out to a situation, or to support or help in some way, it's kind of like an energy prayer. I think of them as energy prayers. You have to make sure that the energy within yourself is what you're wanting to send to them. So I truly have a strong belief in this, and this is how I do energy healing. So if you want to do that, we have to work with ourselves. We have to clear ourselves. That's why we're doing it, and I made sure I had enough time to do it. We're going to clear the energy within ourselves. We're going to build and boost the energy within ourselves. Then we're going to send it out. We're going to gradually build that out, because you can't send what you don't have inside of you. Keep that in mind, because you can do it. If you try to do it in a different order, you're only going to send what's there. And if you haven't cleared that, that's an important thing. If you haven't got that energy with the intention that you want to send, it's not strong enough. It won't do what you want it to do. I work that way when I'm working with sending some healing energy to someone that's got a terminal illness. I don't want to feel sad and give them sad energy. They don't need that. They need something upbeat. They need something vibrant that is full of life. Think of it that way. That's a good analogy for what we're doing. So let's give this a shot. If you want to take time now, so I'm not answering questions. That's why we're doing this. We're going to just do this. And then after we do it, I'll go over to the live chat and we'll interact. So I want, first of all, for you guys to find, if you're doing this with me right now live, because I want to do this as a group, I want you to take a deep breath and really connect with your core, the deepest, most inner center of who you are. Take that in. Take it in and just connect with it and feel the breath coming into your body and connecting. Make sure that you feel grounded. If you don't, if your mind's going everywhere, put your bottom of your feet on the floor. It's so simple. Just feel your body touching the floor, the ground. You want to feel anchored. You want to acknowledge and have the awareness that you are in your body. What that's doing is giving you a presence awareness. Where are you? Do you notice that you can feel your shoes on your feet, or the floor, or the carpet, or the grass? You want to feel that. It brings you immediately your soul, your consciousness. You're here, you're present. You want to be here. And as you're taking those deep breaths, bring it in with the intention of calming yourself and slowing yourself down to pay attention. Bring it in, and you're slowly bringing it in and releasing it on the same pace. Everybody's got a different pace. I like a 4 breath in, 4 breath out, but do 2 or 3 if you need to keep them shorter. Do what feels comfortable for you. Make sure your shoulders aren't going up. Make sure they're staying down and relaxed. That's why you see a lot of times you might put your hands on your tops of your legs or your knees, or just hold them in front of you. You want to keep that awareness. You could hold your belly. Hold your belly to make sure you're taking a full expansion in. So another deep breath together. Ready? And release it. Great. Now, I want you to think, every time you take a deep breath in, you're bringing in a beautiful white light of purity, of love, of healing elixir energy. And when you exhale, anything that doesn't feel right, anything that feels like energy that needs to go away, that needs to be healed, pain, emotions, negative, release it. You could visualize that as kind of a cloudy gray. Sometimes you might see black coming out. You might see different colors coming out. Just go with it. Don't try to control it. Just relax into it. But the intention is we're bringing good in and releasing out what needs to go away. You're clearing the energy within yourself. And it's going to feel small at first, and then we're going to let it grow bigger. So at the center, find a spot. If it feels really small, that's okay. Just keep breathing and focus on that little spot of clearing that you might see. Clearing of a blue sky on a cloudy day is a good example. And each time you breathe in and release it, it clears more of the clouds away. Let it keep expanding until this area within your center is expanding and it's bigger. And let it keep expanding inside of you. Slowly with each breath. Now it's through your whole core. You can feel that it's big enough. If not, keep going. It's okay. It's okay. Just bring yourself back to it if you feel like you got sidetracked. It happens. We don't want to have to try to control it. We just want to allow it. It's very calming to allow it. And as you release out more of the energy you're letting go of, and you're bringing in the healing energy, it keeps expanding. It keeps growing and spreading through. It's moving up into your heart area. It's starting to spread down through both legs, all the way to the tips of your toes. It's expanding through your arms to the tips of your fingers. It's expanding up into your throat, into that chakra. If you have to clear your throat or cough or sneeze, sometimes it makes those reactions. It's okay. All those reactions are your body releasing energies that are going away. Keep doing it. Bring it in slow. Release it back out. Now it's going up higher, all the way to the top of your head. Now your whole entire body is in this beautiful white light. Now what I want you to think of is this white light is now shifted to a purple light. That's a high spiritual color. Some people call it like the purple flame, but we're going to use that color energy like an amethyst because it's transmuting. It brings in love, it intensifies it. And you're going to bring it and let it swoop all the way through your whole body. Taking a deep breath, you might feel lighter. You may feel emotional releases at times. It's okay. Keep going. Don't stop. Just keep going. Take the deep breath in. Let it fill your whole being and release. Release it out. Keep your pace slow and steady. Now we're going to expand even more, and we're going to switch it back to the white light. And we're going to go, we've gone from white to purple, back to white. with a slight hint of silver and gold in there. Those are very high frequency dimensional energies, spiritual colors. So we want this to be like white with like a hint of silver and gold. It's a beautiful feeling of very high frequency. And I want you to feel that. And now we're going to take it and expand it beyond us. Now that we have the energy that it takes to share with another, because we're in a good position here now. We're going to take that deep breath, and as you exhale, it expands beyond you. Now you're inside of it. It's bigger now than you. If you see yourself inside of a bubble or shape, before it was inside of you small, now it's bigger and you're inside of it. It might be a foot beyond you. We're going to keep expanding that. Keep expanding it. Because now your awareness, you're grounded, you're in a high frequency energy, but you're expanding to now your awareness will include what's around you. So expand more to include family members, immediate family, your household, your building. Take a deep breath. Share that energy. It's up to an individual to accept it, so don't worry about that. You're just going to send that love and light. You're going to send this beautiful high frequency healing energy that's loaded with love. Emmy's feeling it because I just sent it out that way. That's great. And she barks when I do things like this. Wow. She's not quite sure. She might bark through it. That's okay. And when we go in expanding it out, we're going to include our neighborhoods, our cities, our towns, our state, our country. Keep going with it. Now we're going to hit the edge of the line where we live. Maybe we're at the border, right? Now we want to take it beyond. It may cross a sea. It may cross a body of water. It's going up high. It's touching the animals. It's touching beneath our feet. It's going everywhere. Now we're going to bring that focus to a very special country that has inspired the world as far as I'm concerned. A beautiful little country called Ukraine. And they have really exemplified courage, strength, and standing up for what they want. They want to live independently and free. And what we want to do is uplift and support them with their strength and stamina. When I say that, I'm not trying to tell you how to think or believe. When I say this, I want you to think about where this energy needs to go without judgment. What needs to be lit up with love and light? Where are the dark places? Where does it need to be lifted? And in your mind, you might find that you're looking and feeling different things. If it's dark, if it has a shadow, if it's angry, if it's in pain, send the love and light. Send it everywhere. Send it across the whole world. I truly like to send it across the entire world. I do it a lot, and I've been doing it. I want you to see that there's an inspiration here, that we can take this and go further. It's very powerful to take that intention of energy and set it right with yourself before sending it out to another, and just sending it out. Because sometimes it's really hard if we're hurt and upset to send something to something that's hurt us, or a person or a group. If that's a dark shadow, that needs light, because where there is light, there is no dark. It can't exist in the same space. A lot of times when I'm sending this out, keep sending, I'm sharing, you might be seeing or feeling some different things here. A lot of times I will notice that I see dark little shadowy figures jumping off an area that I send light to. I've been seeing that quite a bit every time I send it, but it will clear the path for a higher positive healing energy to fill it, that space. So the more you see that, you may see something different. You might find emotionally that it's a lot. You might find that you can only do a little bit at a time and then rest. But what you want to remember when you're sending out healing energy, it's energy. You don't have to be in the same physical location. It's energy. Energy is thought. Energy is intention. Energy is what you focus on. We focus on the healing. We focus on the love. We focus on sending that every single time we get hit with the challenge, every single time we feel the dark, every single time. You do this with your own life, your own personal life. If you see someone in need, you don't go trying to control them or judge them or try to make them believe the way you do. Just send them some love. Let the universe deal with that, because the universe knows what to do with that. You're just a vessel to send it and disperse it with intention. It magnifies. It's very powerful. You'd be surprised. If you take and you continue to take the deep breaths and you continue to send this out, do it at different intervals. Every time you feel it, every time you read in the news and something upsets you, every time you feel passion or motivation and you want to take an action, put yourself in this position first with this energy, then make a choice. You might be quite surprised. You might find that you'll approach things differently, but when you do, you're going to have a much different effect, a much more powerful healing effect. It won't tear you apart so much. This will rejuvenate you as you're sending it to another. To me, it's one of the most priceless, most valuable gifts you can do, is to send love and light where it's needed, in dark places, dark energies, dark belief systems, dark mindsets. There's no light. Send the light and keep sending it. And I just want to thank everyone. You can take this guide, you can take what I've kind of walked you through, and you can tweak it to where it works best for you. The goal is to focus on sending light. Make sure you do it with yourself first. Self-care first, and then send it out. Every time you want to do that, it's a very powerful prayer, honestly, if you want to think about it. It's a powerful prayer. We're not magical, powerful beings. We're just being vessels and sharing. Remember, we're connected to everything. We're all one. We're all connected to the powerful source, the universal divine love. So if we think of it that way, we're just kind of plugging in and being a vessel for that. That really is it. When you see, I call myself energy healer, doesn't mean that I'm doing all of that. I'd never last, never make it. It will rejuvenate you. You will be more inspired. You will have a different mindset. You won't be afraid. You will find that there's a bigger picture out there. It changes everything. So I want to thank you for being with me on that today, that we took the time to do that. I used this time and this opportunity because Ukraine is inspiring us and reminding us, if you live in freedom, appreciate it. If you live and have a world that you can pretty much do what you want, appreciate that. Appreciate what you do have. Of course, we always find something wrong with something and we want to fix things and make them better, but also don't forget about gratitude for what you have. And remember that there's, when you see something like this going on in the world, you can do this. We can send money, we can send all kinds of different things, but I feel like this is an important thing to send too. They need their morale, they need their strength, their courage, they need that stamina from their soul. Just like you do when you're going through something tough. I don't want that part of who we are as humanity to be forgotten. So I appreciate you. Okay, I'm going to stop because then I get emotional. I do, because this is important to me for the world to shift. I'm really about a better world. I want to go say hello to my people I say my people. Sorry about that. I got teased about that one time, but I feel like you're my family. Let me say it that way. I want to say hello to everyone that has joined me for this live. We got 757. Hello, Miss Sasha. Michelle, hello. Journey to Becoming Me. We've missed you too. I feel like there's been a lot of 40 hours of work with each 24 hour. Yeah, I'm not able to get your newsletter. I even ordered the calendar off website. You're still not getting the newsletter. Okay. Can you... I'm trying to figure out how we can help you. Did you reach out to us through the contact form so we can see what's going on? Because I don't want you to have to put all your personal stuff up on here with your email, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on, make sure you're getting what you need to get. But we need to take care of it. But if you send through that form on my site on the contact us area, so we can see what's going on and make sure we have your email right and make sure all the settings are right for you. She's also saying, absolutely, we love you, Ukraine, we love you in Russia, whom have protested this war and did not want to be a part of this disaster. Exactly. I'm also sending it to all the dark, angry, everything, because that needs light. We need a change of heart in the world. We need to work together. And that's what I want to pray for too. Rhonda Rue, hello to you. Hello, Candace. Giovanna, hello. Maddie, hello. I'm definitely felt a major release of a lot of things I held on to for a long time. Still don't know exactly what's unfolding, but I've noticed a shift in positive feelings. That's great. You're happy to be my people, Candace? Me too. Well, when I say that, it's like family, but I know that sounded kind of weird, right? All right. I wanted to ask everybody else one other thing. I've been getting really strong frequencies of numbers, and I wanted to we have a few minutes. I wanted to take a second and see if anybody's getting any number frequencies. Like I've been getting the tens, like the 1010s and the 1,000, weird. Here we go, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12. 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12. That's what kept popping up over and over. And it happened last week around Tuesday, Wednesday, and I go, what in the world? So I'm wondering if anybody else is getting anything like that. Has anybody else had any kind of unusual numbers coming through? I've had the 4s coming through whenever the 4s always come through when I directly speak to angels and say, hey, could you help me with this? And then I see the 4s because they're letting me know, yeah, we're here. And just every single time. So I thought that was pretty cool. I had the 10s, just to give you an example, you have a beginning and then it's intensified by the 0. 10s are, I don't know how to say it. Like a 1010 is what? It's more of a 1010. That's, and when I was getting this like last Monday, Tuesday, before all this crazy stuff happened, it was allowing your thoughts to be centered. Bringing that focus, and here's the main thing, keep your focus on peace. I'm like, and then I had the strange dreams come through. So the dreams were disturbing, to be the best way to put it. I won't go into all that, but I knew something was very wrong, and it was people I didn't even know. And I'm thinking, what in the world? This is not right. So that was all happening for me last week. But if you're getting a lot of that, pay attention to what they are. Pay attention to frequency of numbers, because the angels might be guiding you in a specific way to help, or what you can do. I definitely was being called into action, so to speak. I've heard that before from others. And, I'm here. I've always been doing this for years. It's just part of who I am. I'm connected that way. I always will be, but it shifted. It changed. And it may for you too. And if this is tough because you feel it so much, I wanted to really bring attention to that today. Thank you guys very much for being who you are and being with us today. Thank you for just taking the time to be here. And I'm going to put something else out here. The newsletter. She's saying she doesn't, wait a minute, about the newsletter. You're not getting the newsletter. Still not able to get news. I don't know what might be happening with that. Sometimes there's weird blocks. In the chat, I'm going to I did put a 1-month coupon code out. I wasn't going to even bring this up today, but I will. Since you're not getting it, I want to put it out there. Let me, hang on. It's a coupon code for the self-care if you want it, but it's to take, 20% off. So this is it. This was in the newsletter that you said you're not getting. So I'm going to just stick it out there for those that might not be on that, because it's such an important time if you want that. Here we go. There. So you put that code in when you do that, and it will take it off. It would be, and it's a pretty big in-depth course with a lot of things in it, so you can go look at it and see if you want it. But I'm only putting that out there. Wasn't even going to bring it up today. Didn't even have it in the listing, but I did that because she says she's not getting the newsletter. That's going to be good for the month of March for that particular one. And the reason I've made it for that is because self-care is so important with what we have going on today. And that was coming up really strong for me before everything too. So I feel like it's lining up, and I'm not trying to force everybody into that, but it's something that if you feel like you could tweak that, go read everything that's in it, see if it could help you. And I wanted to, put the discount out there to help everybody, because we need it right now. We need everybody to get in on this energetically. Okay, here it is. Let me put that on there quick. There we go. So, and over at the website, it's right there. It's right all in the Learning Center. I think I even put it out on the front page, because I did do this one beyond the newsletter, because it's important to me that everybody is working with intention for a positive, uplifting frequency. A higher frequency. Love cannot coexist in the same space with hate. It just can't. So, made sense to me. Let's just focus on filling that space with the positive stuff. And some people laugh about that. They can laugh all day long. I don't care about that anymore. It used to hurt me because I was so sensitive and when I was a kid, but no. Because I feel like this is so important that it needs to be taken seriously. So that's why it's out there. So anyway, there it is. I'm going to break off some of this and see if I can put it separate into the meditations section. I also have a free meditation collection that's in the Learning Center. I'll take the section of the meditation today and I'll put it in there. I'll also put it on the YouTube. And we'll just try to get it out there. I hope that if this has inspired you and you know others this would help, please share this particular episode to help others. We just all want you to know we care. There's a lot of people in a lot of different places around the world that really do care what's going on out there. And I feel like we're going to be helping our brothers and sisters. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining me. I'm going to take off, got to go. And I will see you next time on the Jenn Royster Show. Namaste.
You've been listening to the Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. If you've missed any part of this show or any other show, visit www